Yo, what's good? Big Z here, and today I'm going to show you how to make that new Zedd remix. So it's Zedd's new remix of Lost in Japan by Shawn Mendes. You just heard my remake of it. I'm going to jump right in and show you guys how I made all those sounds. As always, all the serum patches and MIDI files will be linked down below. So let's start off with how I made the synth wobbles. So I made them in Serum, and I used both oscillators. The first oscillator is a square wave. The second oscillator is a J and O wave. The wavetable position for the J and O wave is all the way to the right. So oscillator A has 7 voices of unison, and oscillator B has 6, and they're both detuned the same amount. I've got this envelope right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. This shaped envelope, and it's modulating the filter cutoff over here. And going through the filter, I have both oscillators and the white noise oscillator as well. And as you can see over here in the white noise section, I have some bright white noise in there, and I'm modulating that level with the envelope as well. So in the filter section over here, you want to make sure you have some resonance added to it, and that just gives it kind of a funkier sound. I'll exaggerate it and show you what I mean. But you just want a little subtle effect on there. Over in the effects section, there's a couple things going on. I've got some dimension expander on there. I've got some chorus on there. And I'm just doing a little bit of EQing using this envelope to suppress the gain of the high end a little bit. So you can watch this EQ as the wobbles play, and you can see what I'm talking about. That's just kind of a cool trick to control the high end of a synth. For processing on that sound, all I have is some EQ that's taking out the low end and rolling off the highs and a little bit of the mids. And then I just have some OTT on there as well. Alright, now let's move on to the lead. So the lead consists of 2 layers, and here's what they sound like. So the lead I also made in Serum. So it's just a saw wave with 7 voices of unison and a decent amount of detune on there as well. And down in this drop down menu, you want to select bend plus minus, and I just bent the saw wave a little bit to the right. Then I have this envelope down here that's opening the cutoff of the filter all the way, and it's also modulating the level of this bright white noise right here. You'll notice in this lead that there's a vibrato effect every couple notes in the lead melody, and how you do that in Serum is you use an LFO right here, and you want to go to the Matrix tab, and I selected LFO 1 as my source. You just want the amount to like 1 or 2, just a subtle effect on there. As the destination, hit Master Tuner, and then make sure the arrow's pointing both ways, and make your aux source the mod wheel. And that way, when you're playing your sound, you can use the mod wheel on your MIDI controller to affect it. Then in this LFO down here, you can select the rate you want and change it around until you think it sounds good. So then to automate that vibrato, I'll show you how to do it. You go into your piano roll, and you can hit this button right here to bring up this controller, and you want to select modulation. And then you can control how much the mod wheel is controlling the vibrato during each note. So it's completely off besides this one note that plays every bar. I'm also using the mod wheel to control something else in the effects section. And how I'm doing that is you use this mod feature right here, and I'm using it to control the reverb mix over here. And I'm increasing that reverb mix a lot using that mod wheel every time that vibrato sound is played, and that just gives it like a funky, chorusy, detuned effect. The only 2 effects I have going on are this diode 1 distortion with the drive up all the way and then mix it like 30%. Then I also have this multi-band compressor going. It's kind of like OTT where it's just heavily compressing the sound. As for processing on this lead, I added some more compression with the Renaissance compressor from Waves. And then here's the EQ I have on the sound, just rolling off some annoying frequencies around like 6,000 hertz and cutting everything off below 250 hertz. So that's the main lead layer that sounds like this by itself. Then I have this other lead layer that's the exact same sound and the exact same patch in Serum, except it's pitched an octave down and some more of the highs and the EQ are rolled off. So like I said, the only difference with this lead as opposed to the other one is that it's pitched an octave down. I'm not using the bend plus minus feature here. And I'm also going to the global tab and using this width feature here and turning it all the way down to 0 so the sound is right in the center of the mix. Also, like I said before, I'm rolling off a little more of the high end with the EQ on this one to leave some more room for the high end of the main lead. So I'm sending both these leads to a lead bus where I am compressing them both together with OTT, and then I'm adding a little bit of saturation, which adds some high end to the mix. One more thing going on in my lead bus is this J37 tape distortion from Waves, just to add a little bit more of a gritty feel to the lead. So for the bass, I just used like a slap bass preset from Nexus, and there's kind of two bass lines that play off of each other. Here's what they sound like. So the bass that's playing during the wobble is playing the exact same bass notes as the wobble chords, and it's a really short bass sound, and I'm cutting off all the frequencies on that above like 300 hertz. It's just really low in the frequency spectrum, and I use this Nexus preset called E-Bass 2, and it's just kind of a real bass sounding preset. Then for the slap bass that you could hear better in the mix, this one, I use the exact same preset, the E-Bass 2, except instead of cutting everything off above like 300 hertz this time, I let the high end breathe more and even push the high end up a little bit around like 2500 hertz so we could hear it better in the mix. So at the end of the drop, he throws in these lush sounding chords that sound like this. I won't go through this whole sound. I'll just add the preset down below so you guys can check it out. It's a pretty simple sound. You can check out all the other presets down below as well. Alright, that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify below. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.